hope you're having a great morning. Are you guys ready for a wonderful panel? My name is Catie Wayne. I will be your moderator this morning, but who cares about me? Would you like to meet our panelists? I done said, would you like to meet our panelists? Thank you. Hello. Our first panelist has written most, if not all, of the music for all of the songs that we know and love. He has helped a princess gain her wings and a pink pony learn about pride. Please welcome Steffan Andrews. Hey. Our next panelist, yeah. Our next panelist has written all of the lyrics for all of the My Little Pony songs we know and love. He certainly knows how to make us smile, smile, smile. Please welcome Daniel Ingram. The next panelist is a lovely lady who sings for our favorite purple princess and a devious villain turned good. Please welcome Rebecca Shoichet. And our final panelist. This pink pony needs no introduction, but her quiet yellow friend might. Please welcome Andrea Libman.
Oh, it's Andrea.
I'm so sorry. It's Andrea. I messed up, guys. I messed up bad. All right. So, how the panel is going to work today. Daniel, I hear that you have some music to share with us. So, after we get our fill of our lovely spoilers, I am going to have you guys line up at a microphone at our designated screener, which I don't know where he is, but we'll figure that out when we get to it. And you will ask your questions. Once it gets passed through, you will be able to ask their questions. Yeah? Sounds good? Sounds good. All right. Oh no, are the microphones dead?
Check 1, 2.
Yours works.
All right. We'll show you guys testing. Hello. Testing. Mine's working yet? Oh yeah, I can hear myself.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Working. So Catie, that was very close. I don't write all the lyrics. I write all the songs, and the lyrics are about half of the songs. So just letting you know.
And I don't write all of the music. I wish I did. It's a diverse team.
Andrea.
Guys, what am I even doing here?
And Kate is awesome.
Oh, stop.
So I have, everyone knows that we've been releasing My Little Pony soundtracks the last year. And we have another soundtrack coming up, which is super exciting. And thank you. All right. And I'm very excited to be able to tell you that that soundtrack is being released on the week of April 13th. So it's coming up in 2 weeks. And on that soundtrack, we have completely caught up with all of the songs from seasons 1 through 4. Except for the Pinky Pride episode. There's a reason for that, but anyways, you'll find out soon enough. And in addition to that, there's one extra song on the soundtrack that has never been heard before, and it was written, it was requested specifically by Hasbro, and we talked a bit about it and what we could do as a sort of a treat for the fans. And we thought, well, let's try to do a mashup of two of the favorite songs, which is always kind of an interesting experiment. And I went into the studio with 6 singers, including Gabe, Black Griffin, and And we recorded a mashup of 2 songs. I'm not even going to tell you what songs they are because I know you're going to guess, but I think I'll play it for everybody now. Get us all in the musical spirit.
Sounds great.
You're the first people to hear this.
You are the first ever to hear this song.
Except for Hasbro.
BABSCon! BABSCon 2015!
Even I haven't heard it. No. Okay, so here we go. It's a bit of a long one, but let's see how you do.
I'm sure we'll manage.
Our hoopsies were at home, time off from work to play. But the food we stored is running out, and we can't grow in this cold.
Even though I love my boots, this fashion's getting old.
A true friend helps a friend in need. A friend will be there to help you see. A true friend helps a friend in need to see the light that shines from a true friend.
The time has come to welcome spring and all things warm and green.
But it's also time to say goodbye. It's winter, we must clean. Remove the clouds and we melt the white snow. When the sun comes up, it's warmth and beauty will glow. A true friend helps a friend in need. A friend will be there to help and see. A true friend helps a friend in need to see the light that shines from a true friend.
Little critters hibernate under the snow and ice.
We must wake up all their sleepy heads so quietly and nice. We help them gather up their food, fix their homes below. We welcome back the southern birds so their families can grow. A true friend helps a friend in need. A friend will be there to help and see. A true friend helps a friend in need to see the light that shines from a true friend.
Now that I know what they all do, I have to find my place and help with all of my heart. Tough task ahead I face. How will I do without my magic? Help the earth pony way.
I want to know, so I must do my best today. Do my best today. True friend helps a friend in need. A friend will be there to help them see. A true friend helps a friend in need to see the light.
The feels are real.
Thank you very much.
The feels are so real. Goodness. What a way to start a panel, huh? That was beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh man, I'm gonna cry. All right. So, do we have our screener? All right. Where is he? All right, so if you guys would like to start lining up to ask your beautiful questions, line up at this gentleman right here. Please raise your hand. What? Oh, 2 sides. Oh, got it. There's one over here, too.
So
All
please,
right,
either way
so
you go.
to get the ball rolling, you guys, what are some of the challenges that you would face when writing or singing for a certain character or for My Little Pony?
You guys want to start?
Sure. I think one of the challenges for when you're recording songs for a cartoon is to sing in character. Singing is one thing, but putting on a character voice and staying in character and making sure that you stay true to that character, I find very challenging. Someone that's awesome at it is Rebecca.
And yet it's still very challenging. for those of you who've seen Rainbow Rocks, I had to sing with myself
Yeah.
as two different characters. And, Daniel and I worked on that quite a bit, just working on how to create a sound that was I thought about it quite a bit and sort of designed a vocal style for each of those two Equestria girls, for Twilight and for Sunset, so that they would have a separation. So it took a long time to sort of realize, I kind of had to analyze like how they shape their consonants and their vowels and go really kind of meticulously go into it and go, well, okay, how can I approach it vocally so that they don't sound like both like me and both like each other? Because for many years, anytime I was asked to sing for Twilight, Daniel kept saying, just sing it more like yourself, just more like Rebecca. We just kind of want Rebecca, but kind of poppier. So now I've got this character whose speaking voice sounds almost exactly like mine, and now I have to actually sound different from my own natural pop voice. So that was really challenging.
But you did an amazing job.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Well, my challenge is that I can't sing, so I don't. Although we've never tried that, have we?
I tried to get you to voice act a few lines, and you refused.
Yeah. Touchy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing in terms of challenges on this show has always been to try to, well, we're now in the 5th season, and as you know, season 6 has been announced, and so that's a lot of songs. It's like we're getting probably going to be 100 songs by the time that's done, especially with Equestria Girls. So big challenge is how do you keep it original and fresh so that every song just doesn't sound like something else we've already done. That's always
I think I speak for everyone when I say you've done a fantastic job of that. All right. No answer from you. Or just a joke? No? All right, cool. All right, do we have our first question?
This is directed. Oh, is this working? Oh, this is directed more towards Daniel Ingram. One thing my entire family noticed when we first listened to Winter Wrap Up, especially the instrumental version, is it sounds a lot like another song. The chorus of it. Is it any coincidence that the chorus of Winter Wrap Up sounds like "Stand" by REM? And have you run into any problems with that?
It's like
if you don't know how that goes, it's like
you live now.
Yeah.
Face no. No,
Winter Wrap Up.
I
Winter
didn't make the connection. No.
No, okay. I just wondered.
No. I mean, I think that happens. I mean, even in pop culture with Sam Smith recently, and everything happens. Sometimes you write a song and you don't realize what else it can relate to, especially in a pop genre where you're dealing really with 7 different chords at the most. So a lot of things happen. There's billions of songs out there. So
Okay.
But that would be a great mashup.
Yeah,
That would
that'd
be
be the
the
next
I'm thinking
mashup.
about that right
You
now.
should maybe work on that. That would be
All
good.
right. I thought at first. No, I'm kidding.
Is that also true for at the gala? Did you just write that by accident and it happened to sound like Ever After from Into the Woods?
No, in that case, that was like, especially in season 1, we were, a lot of times with cartoons, like traditionally it's been, okay, what's a famous song that we can clone, or not clone, but we can parody or model after whatever.
Reference.
And that was always been the case. In My Little Pony, that was the case in season 1, and after season 1, we stopped doing that. We started to say, no, let's forge our own way. But yeah, no, that was definitely a Sondheim reference.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, how can I take that and put a modern twist and make it into our own?
Okay. Yeah. I was like, oh no, I'm crazy.
No,
But a related question is, do you guys ever listen to any songs for inspiration? Do you listen to music when you're writing your own songs, or do you try to stay away from being influenced by other things at all? And this is, for singers, or does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think especially on something like Equestria Girls, where it's a little bit more poppy and trying to be a little more current, or at least do something that's original.
Sure.
Always listen to, like, the problem is, of course, is when you write songs for cartoons, it takes like a year and a half before the song to actually come out. So I'll write a song, often a year or more before you hear it, and so any current pop references I'm using are already slightly dated. But definitely I'll try to listen to what is out there and do something that's relevant as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it comes to the end, product of the songs and the final sound and style and stuff. You know, a lot of times we'll reference stuff that is like our favorite musicals or our favorite movies or something, and it gives you a base to start from. You know, gives you kind of parameters to work with, and it's kind of fun to see. Oh, can I do it in this style or that style? Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, thank you very much. I love all the music of the show, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So,
Oh, thank you very much.
I have a question for the audience. How many people in the audience are musicians or singers?
Ooh.
Yeah. And how many people are songwriters or aspiring songwriters? Hey, cool. I just wanted to see.
Do we have our next question?
Hi, nice to meet you all. This is to Rebecca Shoichet. It took me a while to learn how to pronounce that correctly. So I love your singing, and I wanted to ask, can Sunset Shimmer sing You Are My Sunshine?
You know, that's actually a song I grew up with as a kid. So I'll do my very best. Oh my goodness. Good morning, everyone. Here's my morning voice.
Sunset Shimmered is kind of a morning voice.
She
though,
totally is. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
It is 10:30 in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. That is very impressive.
Hello, so question for Daniel and Steffan. Do you approach composing and orchestrating differently for the MLP franchise than you would other projects?
Of course, it's more pony-ish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has a very certain and grounded style, right? It's very cohesive. It's very much like a film and the approach and the scoring. And there's not a lot actually on TV, a lot of cartoons that do that. A lot of cartoons are kind of, they're goofy and they're spastic. And, you know, the music reflects that. It's very changing gears constantly, right? And because of the underscore having such cohesion and having kind of orchestral film sound, that bleeds over into the song production. And, you know, the songs themselves kind of seamlessly integrate with that sound. So we try to make that happen in a way that works. And then when the pop elements and things come in over top of that, you know, we've developed a sound for that, right? With the mandolins and guitars and, you know, and then that becomes the identity, right? Yeah. For the show, for the sound of the songs.
Yeah, I think every show you have to approach like, okay, what's the sound of this show going to be? And try to find something, especially when it's brand driven, you know, they want to find like a distinct voice. So as soon as you hear that song, you're like, oh, that's from this show. And definitely in the early days of My Little Pony, there was an exploration as to what that sound would be. And it actually started with Pinky's Smile song. That was like, not Smile, but the No Fear song in the woods, where she's like the laughter song.
Giggle at the Ghosties.
Giggle at the Ghostlies, yeah. God, it's been like 7.5 years since I wrote that. And so like that was like, okay, that'll be the core sound of the show, and then it evolved out of that. But you can hear the little synths and the mandolin and the guitars and things like that.
Yeah, and every series, that we work on, we work on lots of stuff besides ponies. Every show has its own sound. It totally has its own identity, and it becomes a palette that you take from in order to work from.
Yeah. But ponies is our favorite.
Thank you.
By a large margin. Although that Littlest Pet Shop, I don't know, that's pretty good.
Hello, this is a question for Daniel. I know we heard a little bit of this in Pinky Pride, but I wanted to know what your thought process would be on a Diamond Tiara solo song.
I think that's an excellent idea, and I'll see if I can put one in season 5.
Thank you.
Hi, this one's to Daniel and Steffan. How do you decide what instrumentals to put with the lyrics? Like, is it collaboration, guesswork, the dark magic of the ancient elders?
Okay, like what? So the question is, how do we decide how to approach the arrangement, like the instrumental arrangement of a song once we have the vocals?
Yeah.
Well, definitely certain characters call for certain instruments.
Yeah.
So if it's like a rarity thing or something, we might be using harpsichord, or if it's Pinkie Pie, it's going to be mandolins and synths, and Applejack will be like kind of banjo, and a lot of that Will Anderson kind of came up with in the score as well. So the song will, and I just like, I don't know, I put everything I can in, so it's almost like over the top. Like suddenly you have a song like At the Gala, and it's like there's rock guitars, there's rock drums, there's giant orchestra, there's a choir, there's 6 soloists. Like
A little ambitious, but I think it turned out well.
yeah. So yeah, the song kind of starts to like once you get going, you kind of know what it needs, and we build it up.
Well, I think a lot of the time, though, from the get-go, right, from the script and the drafting the song stage, there's an idea in mind of what style is intentioned. Once in a while, it's kind of open-ended, and we'll just sort of sit down with it and say, well, it could go in this direction, and we just do our thing with it. And I don't know, at that point, it's just kind of magic. It's secret sauce. I can't explain it.
I like your top hat. That's awesome. I need one of those.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Praise Celestia.
Celestia.
Hello, this is a question for Daniel and Steffan. You guys also create the music and songs for Littlest Pet Shop, and those songs are also super catchy as well, and particularly the season 2 finale, Won't Have to Look Too Far, gives me intense feels, so thank you. What are the differences, both production-wise and musically or stylistically, between Ponies and Pet Shop?
That's a great question. Are there any Pet Shop fans in the audience? All right, cool. Yeah, the thing about My Little Pony that is different is all of the songs fit into one universe, and the idea is like we can hear right away when it's not in that universe. And I mean, some people have maybe heard the alternate version of BABSCon, which was a little rockier, and it's I posted that up at one point and got into some trouble. And it was kind of like, we heard it and we're like, yeah, this is cool, but it doesn't fit into the world of Pony. Whereas on Littlest Pet Shop, those parameters don't exist. And so it's almost the challenge is the inversion of that. It's like, how can every single song be in a different style and have almost nothing to do with any of the other songs? And so the challenge is like, it's just so wacky on that show, like between a rap battle and a Bollywood song, and it's just totally schizophrenic.
Or an 80s kind of synth pop thing, or
it's ADD.
The diversity of stuff on Pet Shop is huge.
Yeah, so that's fun. It's nice to get that break. One is just like funny genre songs that are mostly comedic, and Pony's songs are a little more genuine and within a certain world. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're very good at making music that's evocative of other styles, like a Weird Al polka in Pinkie Pride, or a Danny Elfman number in Stop the Bats. If you could put any style of music into the show, like no bounds, no rules, nothing, what would it be? Do you really want to get some 80s hair metal in there? Do you want like big band orchestra or what?
It's a great question.
I mean, what wouldn't we put in there, really?
I know our dream is to work with a live orchestra. That's what we'd love to do.
Yeah.
And everybody knows about the big My Little Pony feature coming up in a few years. So that hope it's looking like that dream is going to be a reality. So that's going to be really exciting.
Fantastic news. Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say I'm a huge fan of all you guys. If I had a nickel for every time you showed up in my playlist, I'd be a billionaire. So I was wondering, what do you think for all of you guys, for you two being like having to play 2 characters when you're singing, do you ever like slip up? And then when you guys have that audio, like is it ever hard to work with it? And what do you think was the most successful song, like we're using that, having to change it and manipulate it so to work with the song?
Well, we have that problem all the time, especially with Fluttershy, because it's just so easy to kind of get more emotional or more excited, and then as soon as I get excited or into it, it just peaks, and Daniel's really great because he's there in the recording. He'll just let me know. He's like, oh, it's Pinkie Pie territory, just bring it back down. So it's just always bringing it back down, soft. So that's a huge challenge for me. But luckily, it's lots of ears in the room and some really good ones that can always listen for that and help me out.
Yeah, Daniel's there to coach.
Yeah, I
the
coach
singers
him.
too, recording all the songs.
But it's amazing with Andrea, and it's because it's like, okay, now whisper, just louder. Can you not? Can't you whisper louder?
I'm not singing anymore.
Yeah, we don't. I think by the time when we leave the music studio, the recording studio, the takes we have are amazing. So like once I get back, there's very little that we actually do in the mixed phase. It's like they do a brilliant job, and we have such great source material. There's no digital technique to try to, change the timbre of the voice or whatever. It's usually what we get is exactly what we need.
Oh, thank God. That's nice to hear. Thank you, Daniel.
We don't use any auto-tune at all.
Usually, he said usually, so there's an asterisk there.
And your most successful song, you think, like throughout the seasons?
Oh God, that's really. I'd have to let the fans decide because I don't even know anymore.
Oh, come on, you don't have a favorite?
I have two favorites, but you guys haven't heard either one of them.
That's right.
My two favorite songs are coming up this season, and one of them's coming up very soon, and the other's coming up about midway through the season. So
Oh my God,
you can make some
stop.
guesses.
What's your guys' favorite song?
Well,
Oh, that one.
smile, smile, smile.
I like
Gotta
that
be.
one too.
Thank you.
Ah.
Snips and Snails rap, thanks.
Hi.
Great.
All right, hi. Now, my question's for Daniel, and just from your perspective, what would you think would happen if Hans Zimmer were to do the score?
I think I would be fired if Hans Zimmer. Do you mean on the TV series or the movie?
Well, either or.
Yeah, it would definitely be. It'd be very epic and very dramatic, very, very dark.
Well, just because I'm a huge movie fan and I love movie soundtracks, and I just want to know if someone as big as Hans Zimmer were to do the score. It's just thinking about it is just amazing.
Yeah, who knows? I think we wouldn't want that to happen just because we're greedy.
Hans has done more than enough already.
I think we like
yeah, I'm
the
a big
score
fan
the way
too.
it
Hans-
is.
Sorry.
Oh no, I think we like the score and the music the way that it is. With y'all
So do
guys.
I do too. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think Fluttershy could handle a Hans Zimmer soundtrack. No one would be able to hear her dialogue.
Step forward a little bit. Come forward just a smidge. Yeah. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi. How hard was it to make the mashup?
That you just heard today?
Yeah.
That was the hardest part was trying to decide which two songs to mash up because like you have to find two songs that can flow together and you can lay over top of each other. And so it took me a good couple months to just mix and match before I went, oh, these two actually finally work together. And recording it was a ton of fun because we had 6 singers come in and we just did a really big vocal session. So that was a little tricky, but a lot of fun too. Did you like it? How did you think? What did you think of the mashup?
I thought it was awesome.
Awesome, thank you.
It's a beautiful song.
I just wanted to ask if you ever planned on releasing your music on CD, vinyl, or any other lossless quality, because I want to hear your amazing music the way it was meant to be heard and not in 240 kbps.
Thank you. Well, there's a couple vinyl albums out there. One, yeah, and then yeah, I don't really know. That kind of part of it isn't in my control. I mean, really, Hasbro does own all the music, and they're the publishers. So it's been a big step just to get it out on digital medium.
Yeah.
And I think if it's successful and this album sales are good, then they'll probably try to put it out into CD form as well.
May I ask how would I get the vinyl that's already out? Do you know?
I don't even know. Hot Topic. Yeah, it's like $10 off.
I got
right
mine
now.
at Hot Topic.
They're giving them away.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Hello. Hello. So first, let me just say, if you guys know the movie, the only composer I would allow is John Williams. So my question is more for Steffan. Can you explain in sort of simple terms the difference between what you and Will Anderson does in terms of composing and orchestration?
I'm glad you asked. Yeah, Will Anderson, he wasn't able to make it here this weekend. Will's been on the ground floor and writing a lot of the background music throughout most of the episodes. My role has been to come in. I worked with Daniel for a very long time. I think it's almost coming up like 8 or 9 years now. Long, too long. And you know, we work as really well as a team. And from the very beginning through till now, I've been there to lend my skills to produce most of the orchestral stuff on the songs. And then the two crowning jewels really for us are the 2 musical episodes, The Magical Mystery Cure and Pinky Pride. And then I was writing underscore on those 2 episodes. So, you know, from start to finish, it was all basically us, the 2 of us.
Thank you.
You should add on.
You guys are musical gods! No, I'm just kidding. But you guys are really good, though. Out of all the songs that you do throughout the show, how do you know which ones are the ones you knocked out of the park? Like the ones that are timeless and the ones that are dated?
None of them are dated. Right?
I don't know
All
what
of them
you're
are
talking
classics.
about.
Yeah, it's very, very, actually one of the most interesting parts is as time goes on to see, first of all, the show survive and grow and the fandom remain so strong. And also in that process to see which songs become kind of like classics within the show, right? And because honestly at the time I can never predict which ones are going to be popular or not and which ones are going to fall into obscurity very quickly.
I mean, the fan reaction is the best barometer for that. Right?
Yeah.
We know what you guys like.
Rebecca and I, we go down and we do these kids sing-alongs at a lot of the cons. And
Recognizing some of you guys from the sing-along yesterday.
Yeah.
See some familiar faces.
That's
Hi,
right.
kids.
And that's really one way we can tell, because we just we just do it by request, and we're like, okay, what do you guys want to hear now? And you know, that really shows us which songs like are the favorites, I guess.
We got asked for Let It Go a lot yesterday.
Yeah, we got a lot of Let It Go.
I said we're not doing songs from Frozen today.
Did you do it?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, that song's still everywhere to this day. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi.
This is for Andrea and Rebecca. I actually drew something right now, so I want to show you that. So can I show?
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Can you help her up on stage?
She's good. She's very good.
Oh, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky.
How to
And
get
don't
an
anyone else
autograph
get any
101.
ideas.
You make art and you get hugs. Make art, get hugs.
We finally got stage crashers. Yes. Life goals.
The sweetest kind.
Hi, my question is about the choirs on Friendship is Magic. I
I noticed that on Little's Pet Shop, you guys list who the background singers on songs are. Is that the same group on choir songs for My Little Pony?
No. Simple answer. It changes every session. And so we've actually been searching how to best get a choir sound. So in like something like at the gala, we used Michelle Krieber's mom's choir.
The
actually.
Cypress Singers.
Yeah. And
You were on that group?
okay, cool. And really,
What's on at the gala?
In the choir. Wow. And Rebecca. And we like did it with like everyone live in a big room, 40 singers or something, 30, 40 something. And then in subsequent series, we were like, well, let's see if we can just put like four boys, 4 girls in a room, in a small room, and just multi-track it. And other times we've done like different, so it changes every single time. And they haven't been very diligent about crediting those singers, I know. But most of them are just, we did UBC students, like our university students one time.
For the Raise This Barn.
Raise This Barn,
Raise
yeah,
This Barn.
that's right. We had like 20 or 25 students from the choir there come in. I must have tried like 6 different ways to record choir, and I still can't decide which is the best way. But these days, yeah, we haven't been able to credit everybody. But they got paid, if that makes you feel better.
At least they got paid. Maybe in the future you could. I'd love to see credits for those guys. I want to know who they are.
Okay.
I don't think he makes those decisions.
Yeah. Thanks, Jordan.
I wanted to know, this is for all of you. I wanted to know, are your emotions connected to the songs?
I would say totally. Like a lot of it, everything is story driven. That's the first rule. It's like, okay, how can this song serve the story best? And then the next question is, how can it, the beauty of musicalization, of taking lyrics or words and making them into a song, is now you can add a whole nother layer of emotion. And so take a song like Smile, Smile, Smile. It's like, well, we just need a song to illustrate Pinkie Pie's inner motivation. And then at the same time, I'm thinking, well, how can we add some depth to her and make it a little like this, some real feeling at the same time underneath all of that. So I think trying to channel those emotions is really important. You got to be pretty in touch with music and emotion. And I know for myself, after a song is done and we get the mix, I always listen to it like 100 times afterwards. Just really try to take it all in, because I think that is always, for me, the most satisfying part, when it's finally all done and I get to feel, after the creative process, just enjoy the songs themselves.
Thank you for answering my question.
It's a good question. Thank you.
Do you guys just write the songs and sing them, or do you also play some of the music for them?
Hey, that's a great question.
Yeah. Well, I think all of the above, right? So the girls sing, I write the songs, and I play some of the instruments, and Steffan plays a lot of the instruments as well.
Also, can I hug you guys?
With that outfit, yeah.
Yeah.
Group hug.
But you have to be as fast as Phil a second.
Yeah.
Arm wrestle.
These sneaky kids.
Too tall.
Hi. Before ever singing, do you become nervous, or what do you do before you start singing a song?
That's a good question. Well, first you really have to learn the song. We're given materials early to make sure that we go into the studio prepared mentally for what we're about to sing, and usually physically, because you have to practice before you go in to the studio. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to have learned the song with Daniel. If we worked on it, sort of workshopped it in a demo sort of experience, I'll go in and he'll be like, yeah, what do you think what do you think of this? Does this range feel comfortable for you? Or because he'll have the song written and sometimes the key changes or whatever. But actually, over the last, I don't know, handful of years, he doesn't have to ask me anymore because he kind of knows my voice. And so he writes a song that's comfortable for my range. But before I go into the studio, I always warm up. I make sure I'm fed, make sure I'm super well hydrated. And I do like a vocal warm up. Are you a singer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know about lip trills?
Yeah, I do it with my singing teacher.
Oh, great. So yeah, sure. I'm going to give you an example. So I'll do like a 5-note scale with lip trills. And it's just you just go through your whole range, but don't push too hard or go too high or too low when you're first starting out, and that sort of relaxes your pharynx down and gets your range warmed up and your vocal cords warmed up without any stress. Yeah, that's one of those things that I do, or several of the things that I do.
Thank you.
Help my radio.
Sing along. This question's for Steffan Andrews and Daniel Ingram. I've noticed throughout season 4 and Magical Mystery Cure and Rainbow Rocks that you guys have been putting together a lot of songs compared to the first 2 seasons. Has Hasbro been working you into the ground to produce these songs?
Did Daniel pay you to ask that question?
Good job.
No, I thought of it and
You thought of it on your own?
Yeah, and I watched an analyst, Brony, who thought the same thing on his review of Philly Vanilli.
Oh yeah, cool. Philly Vanilli. Yeah, Andrea did a great job on. Both of you guys did a great job on Philly Vanilli. That is an excellent question. No, it is not like being worked into the ground. For me, it's just exciting to have so many opportunities to write for. Last year, out of my studio, I wrote 60, 70 songs, and this year we have another 60 or 70 commissioned. So it's a song every week, sometimes 2 a week. And for between Pet Shop and Equestria Girls and the series and everything, it's a lot of music. But I don't know. I don't think of it like in a bad way. I think of it in a really, really, really good way.
Daniel loves a good challenge.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, we joke about stuff, but I mean, the privilege that we have really is to be able to do something that we love to do. And when you do that for a living, you just want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's us, it's ourselves that will be working ourselves, if anybody.
Yeah, to get up every day and go to work with people who are incredibly talented, like Steffan, and to work with incredibly talented singers like Rebecca and Andrea, and be able to do what you love and write songs and have an entire fan base give you feedback right away and really honor you by doing remixes and covers is like a dream come true. I mean, you couldn't ask for more than that.
Did you guys always know that this is what you would want to be doing? This is a question for the lovely ladies as well.
No, that's not. I thought that I would grow up and I would have a real woman voice.
You have a real woman voice.
So I went and studied engineering because I figured that I'd lose my cute voice and I'd be out of a job. But then my voice never changed, and here I am.
Well, we're happy about it.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be my dream was to become a teacher, but I was always in love with performing, and I would say yes, I've always wanted to do this, so I feel really blessed to be able to live my dream, man. Live the dream.
Yeah, I never planned on being a songwriter. I studied classical music and was just planning on being a composer, like background score and the concert music. I wrote like string quartets and things. And then one day on Martha Speaks, which was my first series, they were like, hey, thank you. One guy. They said, hey, can you write us a theme song? And I'm like, well, I've never written a song in my life. And I was like 30. And I said, well, okay. And then I wrote that theme song, and they're like, you're a pretty good songwriter. You should write more songs for the show. And the producers from Martha Speaks ended up being the producers for My Little Pony, and they're like, yeah, we were working with Daniel. He was writing songs on this other show. Let's bring him over. And so it's actually been a very unexpected turn in my life to become a songwriter. Did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rebecca sang the original demo for my very first ever song for Martha Speaks. That's how long we've known each other, 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can answer that just succinctly. This is exactly what I wanted to be doing. Like from a super young age, I used to listen to all my dad's music, musicals, film scores, all sorts of stuff. It was very classical oriented, and like, I want to do music for movies and TV shows. I'm doing it.
Thank you.
I have a question for Rebecca and Andrea. How hard is it to, when you're singing and, like when you're playing Sunset Shimmer and then you're changing to Twilight singing, how hard is it to swap characters like that?
Well, I'm lucky because for the most part, the songs are recorded separately. So I can kind of get in a headspace. In fact, we'll even record Twilight songs on one day or in the first half of the day, and then do Sunset Shimmers the other half of the day or the next day. So I can kind of prepare mentally for that, I guess. And it's not a flipping back and forth thing like the genius of a voice actor sitting beside me when she does it, like reading a script. And I was saying the other day, having a conversation with herself and flipping between the characters. I think you've got some mental, like.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, she's got some mental sensitivities. No, it's uncanny to watch Andrea work as an actor. It's quite awe-inspiring. But lucky for me, for the most part, there's a lot of separation for me, so I don't have to stress out about it too much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Which is your favorite MLP song?
What's your favorite MLP song?
Yes.
So many. All classics.
Oh. They're all really good. I think one of my favorites right now is I really like True True Friend, but I like Morning in Ponyville. Just 'cause yeah. I don't know why. I just like I love the musical theater aspect to it. How telling a story it is, how intro-y it is. It's just
cool.
I really like a little bit too much the songs from the first Equestria Girls film. I just really, really liked them, and I had the demo CD, and I just kind of kept it in my car. I just really like them a lot, like too much.
Everybody,
we got something to say. We may seem as different as the night is from day, but you look a little deeper, and you will see that I'm just like you, and you're just like me, yeah.
Awesome.
We got a lot of singers in the house.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys can ride in my car anytime. It's a Golf.
Under Our Spell is one of my favorite songs right now that's come out. I like those darker songs.
Good one.
I'm still really partial to This Day Area. It's one of my faves.
Oh yeah. The kids rocked that song yesterday too.
Oh yeah, we had fun
Evil
singing
cadence
that.
and good cadence. Oh, it was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This question's for Daniel. How did you came up with the Dazzlings / the Siren songs?
That's a great question. I mean, that was really a fun project for me because obviously on My Little Pony, mostly we don't have a lot of villain songs. And This There Aria was probably the only one up until that point. And we had these three girls whose entire purpose is to like mesmerize you with their beautiful voices. And so being able to, it was like, okay, I want to write something kind of snaky and kind of like entrancing. And we found these 3 beautiful singers. I mean, Kazumi Evans is Sonata. And it was just an exploration in trying to be as, dark and evil as possible. I don't know. But yeah, those are some of my favorite songs. And we knew at the time, I remember we sat down in a meeting and I said, guys, we've got the Rain Booms against the Dazzlings, and the Rain Booms are supposed to win, but I really have this feeling that the Dazzling songs are gonna actually be the better songs.
Yeah, you said that. I remember we were recording all the good girl songs. You're like, oh, you should hear the bad girl songs. They're so good. And I'm like, damn it.
Could be better. There's a great challenge there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This question is for both Daniel Ingram and Steffan Andrews. I wanted to ask, career-wise, how did you get to where you are today, and any advice for someone going into a similar career?
Good question. It's always a tricky one to approach that.
I know what I would say. I'd say that both Steffan and I had the same mentor, and that's how we met, because we actually worked for the same guy.
I mean, there's a story of how we started, but
I think that's the key. Like, if you need to do is, there's a lot of things. Like, you need to know music really well, and listen to everything, and listen to every genre, and practice every genre just for fun. And then you need to find someone who's already working in the industry that you're interested in, and see if you can just work for them by sweeping the floors. It doesn't even matter. I remember with our mentor, I was like, I don't care what I have to do. I'll just, I'll hang out here for the day, And then through a process of osmosis, you'll gain their experience, and then there's a lot of things you just can't learn in school. And both Steffan and I were really lucky to work for 3 or 4 years for one of the Vancouver's top animation composers and songwriters. And so I think a lot of the composers I know who've made it have gone through that mentorship kind of process. So find somebody who you respect and see if you can get a job with them. It's one way I'd suggest starting.
Yeah, I really wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, both the two of us have had a background, a musical background, a bit of a technical background. I went to school a bit a long time ago, so we had a foundation. And I would just say, just be careful, have a huge love of music, but be careful not to just launch into anything too quickly or too, straight path. There's, like Daniel says, there's so much that you learn working with someone who has the experience already. And, a lot of guys, composers, musicians, and they're really good. They want to share their knowledge, they want to teach, and you're there to help them out as an assistant or whatever, and then the relationship grows. And then, like a long time ago, we split, and we've been doing our own thing for a while.
Yeah, and I want to say there's something really unique too about this day and age, and this fandom in particular, and how lucky we are with YouTube having the popularity it has. I think a lot of the fan, I guess, musicians, brony musicians, for lack of a better term, have been able to really kind of kickstart their careers through the support they get from everybody here. Like, I'm thinking of Living Tombstone and
totally.
and Black Griffin and Mando Pony and stuff. Yeah, I think that's an incredible opportunity when you can be at home creating your work and share it with such a supportive audience and have everybody really inspire you that way too.
That is huge, and that's something that's almost even developed in the time since we really kind of got started. It's been so fast, and it's amazing. To us, it's amazing.
If I may, I'd like to extend the question to the voice actors. How would you recommend, or do you have any advice for someone that's trying to get into a similar field as you?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, that's hard for me to answer because I started acting when I was a kid. But I hear that just as much acting experience as you can get, whether it's going to drama school or taking acting classes, and just practice, and that's for everything, right? Like, whatever your craft is, whatever your field is, the more that you put that into work and practice, the better you become. It's what it is. I'm a piano teacher too, and I feel like a robot. I say that every week to my students. Practice, 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 because it's true. And when you practice, it becomes more rewarding and more enjoyable. And it's the same thing for anything. It's the same thing for voiceover. So record yourself and listen back and try and imitate different voices and accents and see what you can do, and put together a demo and shop it around to agents. And that's kind of the way to get started if that's what you're after.
Yeah, you can take workshops. There's a lot of ways you can get education in it. You could even, you could find out if you've got a local studio near you where if they're willing to let you come in and just be a fly on the wall, sort of watch a commercial session or something like that. I don't know. I think there are a lot of possibilities out there, but definitely. Never stop learning, and we don't. Like we keep. I'm always absorbing information wherever I go. I'm always open to learning new things. I'm always listening to people speak and going, how does he make that sound come out of the side of his face like that? Or it's always about being open to learning more about whatever you're passionate about.
Thank you very much.
Now, there's one question nobody's asked yet, and I keep waiting for you to ask, and I might just ask it myself.
Yeah, but please do.
Do people want to guess how many songs are in season 5?
Oh.
62? Wow. 22? Okay, somebody said it. Someone said it. It's in the teens. It's not quite 15. You got it. Yeah, 15 songs coming up in season 5.
So I had one I forgot to ask. You guys seem to cover a lot of genres on the show. You've covered jazz, hip hop, rap, a cappella. I think the only one you haven't covered is 50s gangster. Is it like your goal to cover every genre in the show of music?
Well, definitely in Littlest Pet Shop. In My Little Pony, I don't think it's as ambitious to cover genres. It's more like what suits the story. Like, what do we need to do to tell this story? Like the song that just came out yesterday in our town. I don't know how many people saw the premiere yesterday. All right. Great first episode. Awesome way to start the season. That song, like that was a really weird genre for me. Because it was like, well, we need a propaganda song to sort of illustrate how boring and horrible this town is. It's like, well, that doesn't sound like a good song. And so I think in something like that, like you sacrifice, I'm going to make a really fun, catchy song for, well, we need this to sit in this like military propaganda music, cold genre for the sake of the story.
Okay. And then I'm guessing they get stuck in your head just as often as they get stuck in ours. Like, do you find yourself singing them?
Well, yeah, all the time, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So it looks like we have time for about 5 more questions. We've hit our 10-minute mark. So we'll take 5 more questions and then see where we're at time-wise. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. Okay? Sound good? Woo-woo. All right.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not really sure who exactly this applies to, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway because, never know who might know what, right? So in Rainbow Rocks, I'm a guitarist, so I really paid attention to the intro song, Awesome As I Wanna Be, and that really amazing breakdown during the climax. But I was mostly wondering maybe what kind of hardware or what kind of like virtual mixing you guys could have used to get that specific guitar tone.
Well, let me tell you. I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All those guitar parts were played by myself and Caleb Chan, one of the guys who works in my studio. Yeah, we had a lot of fun jamming out. I have a vintage Stratocaster. Half of it was that, and I think that the climax was played on my PRS, which is nice kind of fat, heavy guitar. And we use amp modeling. We don't use live mic stuff. And I honestly, thinking back now, the mixer might have changed it up a lot, so I can't remember which. Probably, yeah, I don't even remember which amp model we used, I'm afraid. That's cool that you noticed that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I do amp modeling mostly as well, so I was just wondering how I could possibly get to that.
I think it was Amplitude.
Oh, I have that actually.
All right, there you go. You're off the races.
Thank you.
Hi, I think this question is for Daniel Ingram. So in season 2, like when we had the song BBBFF, yeah, that's the right letters. We had like something like the deceptive cadence where we had like foreshadowing for the character or for the Chrysalis later on. I was wondering if you had any other like subtle hidden meanings in songs since then.
Well, I think some people have pointed out in Bats, there's like harmonic language happening between, when Applejack sings, it's darker, it's a darker tonal language, and when Fluttershy sings, it becomes more major key. And then as the course of the song carries on, the lyrics get longer by one each time for Applejack and shorter for Fluttershy, and she starts to win the argument, and then of course she wins at the end of it. I threw in that song What My Cutie Mark Is Telling Me. You kind of hear when, this is kind of obvious, but when, there's a throwback to Art of the Dress when Applejack sings. There's some stuff coming up that I can't say. But yeah, I think I'm always looking for opportunities to make, it's part of the storytelling that we do in music is how to use the harmonic language to also tell the story and put it in little subtle music things. So it's cool you notice that. But it happens almost on a subconscious level too.
All right, it's very cool to know. Thank you.
Hi. I just wanted to show you one of my pictures and stuff. One of the pictures that I drew, so.
Come on up.
Okay.
There's stairs right over here. Just watch your step. Yeah, just watch your step.
Hi. Oh, it's awesome. Beautiful. You want to speak into the microphone?
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for writing the songs because that totally inspired me to write Ponies. And my mom is a single parent and she's totally amazing because she just encourages me to draw every day. And drawing is literally my life, so thank you for making the songs.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. And your mom rocks.
Good? We good? Okay. Hey, I was just curious how this is mostly Steffan and Daniel, collaborate with William around creating consistent sound between here's a musical number and here's the score, and whose work comes first? Does William know the musical numbers when he's writing the score?
Yeah, that's a good question. The songs happen way before he does the score. So the songs happen after the scripts are written and before the voices are even recorded and way before animation. Yeah. So by the time Will gets a finished product, he's got the song to work with, and it's up to him to try to figure out a clever way to get into the song. And it's always interesting to hear what he does. Sometimes it just brilliantly, seamlessly flows into the songs, and I'm always amazed. But yeah, by that point, it's really down to him to see what he wants, what he can do with the score.
And tiny follow-up, William has his own sort of leitmotifs that he does, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da for Twilight. Have you ever adopted any little melodic cue from him into a song?
No, I don't think so.
Not in the songs. I mean, I recognize them. They're really cool. But the songs kind of stand on their own. The sound treatments is, we try to be cohesive between that, and he'll get the song right and try to work into it. But the songs are definitely conceived as kind of their own thing.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello. This question is again to Daniel Ingram and Steffan Andrews. This was partially covered already, but the question is, you have some sad or dark or downright evil elements in some of the songs, and you pull it off really well with the instrumentation itself, let alone the lyrics, without betraying the innocent nature of the show, the optimistic nature. How do you gauge, how do you balance this? Are there any specific challenges in gauging exactly how much sadness or fear you're putting in the song?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm going to let you answer this too, Steph. But I know the thing about animation is everything, and the voice actors can attest to this, I'm sure, you have to be, like, everything has to be over the top. It's much more dynamic and much, you have to make those emotions really pop. And so when that's great when it's happy, because it just have to be really happy. But when it's dark, it's like, oh, well, how dark can we go? And I think that there have been times when I thought maybe I was like, is this too far? Like in Rainbow Rocks, when they have that whole battle sequence at the end and the sirens are screaming and they're going back and forth, I remember there's a few moments where I'm like, man, this is really scary. Like, I'm scared right now. So I let the executives decide if it's gone too far or not.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to push whatever we can. And I think we've been able to, in the show, been able to go a lot farther than a lot of other stuff out there. And explore a much greater depth and breadth of emotion, whether it's highs or lows. But sometimes you go with your gut instinct. Like, we're familiar with, what does a villain song sound like? And it's got to be, kind of sly or dark or this. And I remember, like, on This Day Aria, when we were working on that, we did the draft of the orchestration, and we sent it off to Hasbro. And I think they sent back a note saying, we want the villain to sound darker. I'm like, it already sounds pretty dark.
Oh yeah.
Like, can we add like contrabassoon or something? So I'm like trying to scratch my head, like, okay, how are we gonna do this? And then, I can't remember what we ended up doing at the end of it, but they were happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah, the nice thing about My Little Pony is they really aren't afraid. They know that kids can handle a lot more than they get credit for in some other cartoons where they're like, okay, that's too scary for kids. So actually, kids can handle pretty scary stuff, and I don't know, when I was a kid, I actually liked the scary stuff the best. So.
Well, I mean, I'm not one to talk, but doesn't like the villain songs, like This Day Aria, have like 30 million views or something on YouTube?
Yeah, they have.
I can't even believe that.
Yeah.
And it's more than a lot of the other songs, I think. And so that's like feedback to us. They're like, oh, they really like it. Let's go darker. Next time.
Definitely, like, that has definitely helped. As a musician myself, I love the songs, and that's what hooked me to the show. So thank you for that variety, and thank you for kind of pushing those limits.
Right.
Love you, people.
Thank you.
Cool.
We have time for one more question.
Hi. So one of my favorite songs from the series is "Find the Music in You" by the Ponytones, and even though that song was like completely tied into the episode, I don't ever feel like we really heard the song from beginning to end during the episode. So I was hoping maybe you'd be able to let us know whether there's going to be a full-length version of that song on a soundtrack, hopefully in the very near future.
Well, the soundtrack coming out does include that song, so you can.
Awesome. All right. And then also, were there any special considerations in writing that song because it was so bound up in the episode? Is that more unusual with that song compared to other songs that you do, which may be more of a side song?
Yeah, that was a hard thing. When a song has to recur in the script like over and over and over again and have different iterations, and the thing is, really, there's a time limit to how long these songs can be. And so when a song like that has to come back 3 or 4 times, 5 times, it's hard to say, oh, let's do a 2.5-minute version, because the directors are going, you can't take up the whole episode with a song. So that's why you hear it in so many little pieces. It's like, well, because we still need to make room for the whole story. But so that is a challenge of like how in a much shorter period of time can you say what you need to say? Can you do it in 30 seconds? Does it need to be 45 seconds? I mean, it's always sort of fighting against the clock a little bit, unfortunately, when you're doing a daytime TV show. 10 seconds is just the right amount of time, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Is there any chance we'll hear from the Ponytones again?
I can't comment on that. I haven't yet.
Good answer.
All right, guys. How about a round of applause for our lovely panelists?
He already
no,
we are out of time. So thank you everyone for coming, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we can't wait to hear all of the songs in season 5.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
Great questions.